So welcome to your Squeezo Strainer. I'm going to show you what you should have in your box and how to put it together. The first thing is you want to open it up and you want to take out your parts. So the first thing that you're going to need is your shaft and your housing, which has the drive shaft assembly already inserted in it. If you have been using it before, it may not be in there, but this is where it goes in. You have a drain tray. You open up your box. You have a screen and a scroll. The plunger and the brush. The brush you can put away for later when you're cleaning up. The handle. A hopper to put your fruit or veggies in. And your recipe book. And in the back of the recipe book, there's also instructions on how to assemble. There's some interesting recipes, and the history of the Squeezo is in here. So once you've got everything out, go ahead and put your box away. And we will assemble it. The first thing you want to do is you want to put your clamp down so that you're going to be able to fit it on your counter. So I usually put mine all the way down. And then you want to take and put it on your counter. I always put a little piece of rubber underneath it just to protect the edge of your counter. Not that I think it would do any damage, but it's a brand new counter and I don't want to do anything to it. So then you want to tighten it on, get a good firm tightening on your counter so it holds good and tight there. The next thing that you want to do is you want to put your handle on. So you're going to take off your wing nut. And fit your handle on. It notches on there. It's got a square end and it notches on there so it doesn't spin. Tighten your wing nut. Then you're going to take your drain tray, and this is very important to put this on next because if you put your screen and scroll on first, you'll have to take them off to put the drain tray on. So there's a notch right underneath on the housing there, and it slides right in firmly. Then you take your screen and scroll assembly, make sure your wing nuts are out to the ends. And then you're going to put this on as an assembly. It's easier this way. When you put it on, you slide it on, and then I turn my handle. You saw that just like snapped in there, because what that is there's another square notch on the end of the scroll that lines up with the drive shaft. So put those on together. And then you want to tighten your wing nuts down firmly so that it pulls the scroll and the screen in. But you want to do it evenly so that you're lined up. Your scroll is out, and what this does is it sets up the alignment of the scroll, and you don't want it to be crooked. So what we suggest is go ahead and tighten it all the way down. Turn, and if it drags or makes any noise, you want to loosen it just a little bit until there's no sound at all with it, except the squeak of my handle. Once that's done and on, put your hopper on, and you're ready to process your tomatoes. So before you start, you put your tomatoes in the top. You're going to make sure that your screen is tightened down all the way. There's no noise coming through it. Then you want to make sure your bowl is there for your drippings and your sauce, and then you just start processing. Start pushing your tomatoes down through. They should go through fairly quickly. You begin to see juice coming down. It's a good idea. In the spring, in the summer, it's nice and easy because your tomatoes are so full of water, they go through real easily. If in the winter you decide to make some tomato sauce, I'd recommend that you go through and let them ripen a little bit on the counter before you start processing them. So the Squeezo's been around since the early 1900s when an Italian gentleman and his family came over from Abruzzi, Italy, and they started making these in their backyard, and it became a family enterprise until the late 1970s, located in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And at that point, their plant burned down, and they were unable to rebuild. So all of their molds, etc., at that point were all destroyed, and the parts were changed. It did continue. It was bought by Gardenway, and it did continue. At that point, manufacturing got sent overseas, and it was made in Taiwan and Czechoslovakia for a number of years. But it is all basically, well, it is all now back in the United States. Everything that is on the Squeezo is made in the U.S. So it makes it a really, really interesting product to use. But you can see how quick and easy these go through. You've got your skins and seeds are coming out the end. Your sauce is coming out the middle. Just turn your bowl to keep all of your stuff coming out of it so it doesn't overflow. And it's a really good way to make salsa. You can use your tomatoes, your pumpkin screen, and it gets a bigger chunk coming through so you can make salsa with it also. And they go through very, very quickly. It's handy. I sometimes have one of the kids around and they help by putting the stuff in, or you can use the man about the house, whatever. But it's very handy to have that to push them through, to keep you going smoothly. And that's how you process your Squeezo, how you process your tomatoes. One very important thing to keep in mind is make sure that you turn your handle only in a clockwise fashion. If you turn it the other way, the stuff will come back at you and it won't come out the screen. Okay, so now we're going to do some strawberries.
I want to put them in.
You want to help put them in?
Yeah. I want to take them out. Hey, yeah, you missed that. You missed the strawberries.
Okay, now we're going to put them through. How's that?
Yeah. Hey, I haven't seen them coming out.
Well, they got to get down through there. These are fresh strawberries.
I see the juice coming out.
See them?
It's falling out. It's falling. Oh, see, it's all falling out. See? Yeah, it's all falling out.
It's taking out the seeds.
Yeah. Why is it not coming out this way?
It's coming. See, it's already working down the screen.
Yeah. That's coming out now.
Look at it. Is the stuff coming out the end?
Yep.
Can you put some more strawberries in for me?
Yep. I'll open it. Hey, why don't you open
Need
it?
some help? There you go. Put them in. Good job.
I did them all in. I'm going to eat.
You gonna do those too? All right. Then Mom can make some jelly today?
Yeah. See?
See, I'm doing the easy job. I'm doing the strawberries, so she can make the jelly. Get it?
Uh-huh.
So it helps when you have a helper.
Hey, what are you going to do? Open strawberries.
And then we turn the bowl because you're going to get lots of stuff coming out.
Oh, wait, no, it's fine.
Not yet. Let me finish these first, okay?
Okay. That's a lot coming out. That is.
Coming good, huh?
Yeah. One fell out.
Did it? Oh, can we pull the bowl back?
Yeah.
Get it out there too far. Okay, I need more.
Okay.
So they go through very quickly.
Yeah. No.
Look at it. Whoops.
Look.
I missed the strawberry. It got in my way when I was pressing.
Yeah. Put it out now.
Is it doing well?
Yeah, it's coming out. Coming out.
Do we need to turn the bowl for the...
Yeah, just wait up. Okay. Yeah, just...
So having a helper is very handy. And many people remember doing this with their mothers and their grandmothers when they were little. Because this has been around since the early 1900s. Here, we've got strawberries.
Yeah,